We are back for episode 5 of Your Local Garden. It's been a hot and humid end to summer, but thankfully we are on a 3/4 of an acre block here in Kiama that is shaded by beautiful large trees that have been planted over the years. This property is owned by Warwick and Jenny Adams. They have featured on my favourite show, Gardening Australia, and today I'm here to have a look around and hear about how it all started. They have won several awards in our local garden competition, and I have been dying to come and see this place for myself. I hope you enjoy. I'm Jenny Adams.
And I'm Warwick.
So we bought this property 35 years ago, and it was just a paddock, a farmer's paddock. It was the block that no one wanted because it had a drain in it, and we thought, oh well, we can replant the rainforest. Had no idea really what it was going to look like. It just evolved over the years. There were about 6 trees on the block, all of them to about chest height, and 3 of them were the African olives, which are pests. One other big tree was a great big fig. It fell down but has grown on horizontally, which is very beautiful.
Back in the day when the farmers originally cleared it, their method of clearing was to just push everything down into the creek beds. And so all of the foliage and stuff just rotted down in the creek, and there was no creek bed because it was all just full of sort of rotting vegetation. And so when we got it, that you couldn't see the creek bed, and just over the years, by breaking through the grass and allowing the heavy stormwater to wash away, and so we're now back to the original bedrock creek bed.
So you can follow Warwick or you can follow me. This is another way across.
So this was an original, this tree here and that one down there, but as Jen said, they were only sort of chest high, little shrubby type things, and they've grown up over the years. All the sacks are from the fish and chip shop, and they would just throw their sacks away otherwise. So we get them, and Jen uses them as a
mulch.
They're good weed suppressant and mulch, and they rot down.
So we both had the vision for the garden, and at first Warwick did the
heavy lifting and the hard work,
and the weeding, and got rid of all the lantana and the planting. And then over the years, just because it's something I enjoy so much, I've ended up doing most of the, I suppose, designing, and I'll go out and recreate a new garden. I'll think of something else and say, help me move all the rocks, I want to do this now.
10 years ago, actually more than 10 years ago now, I had a quite a serious mountain bike accident where I broke one shoulder and severely damaged the other one, and so I'm not able to do any really heavy lifting anymore. As we gradually had more gardens, and I stopped mowing and stopped whippersnipping, and Jen started doing a lot more mulching, a lot of the natives that were just dormant in the soil started to self-germinate. So part of our thinking was that because Jen's ancestors were the original settlers in the area, and every likelihood was that they cut down most of the red cedars, we made a conscious decision that we would plant red cedars, but we did go a little bit overboard. We've got 18 now, which means that that's probably too many, but ideally that won't be our problem, because that'll be whoever takes it over after us.
My friend Robert has bees all around Jamberoo in this area, so he has this hive here because it's really nice near the creek and out of the wind. And he comes and tends his bees and gives me honey. I love it. During the week, for all these years, I've been working as a speech pathologist from my home. They're little pink seeds. Many children have come to the garden, and many of them respond to the garden, and at times for a reward they'll get to have a walk around the garden. One boy the other day, as I was walking around, said, "Oh, that's a snake in your creek." I said, "Yes, that's a very big snake. Let's keep walking." I am a bit of a collector, and I really value the idea of recycling. So most of the things in the garden, apart from a few purchases, impulse purchases that break the bank, everything really is recycled from the side of the road or the tip or the op shop or friends' throwaways. That gives me a lot of pleasure. I really like looking for things that will go in the garden, and any excuse is a good excuse. And the area near where the children come for speech therapy, of course, is allowable for all the ridiculous collections because the kids might like it.
I'm not able to work anymore as I do quite a bit of composition, and I sit at my music room window which looks out on the garden, and that sort of is quite inspiring and relaxing.
I really enjoy sharing my garden, mainly because I love going to other people's gardens, and that's where I got ideas from. I remember one day going to a beautiful garden and thinking, I love all that there, and realising, oh, I've got a shady spot where I can have those kind of begonias too. So I came home and started on that idea. So I really value sharing gardens, and I find that people like coming here, so that reinforces my invitations. And I try and have people coming in spring because it gets me working through winter to get it ready for visitors. It keeps me a bit more organised, because otherwise without visitors I might let things go more than they are already. And I've found people really enjoy the garden and will take bits and pieces home and tell me that they're growing well in their space too. So
yeah, we get lots of enjoyment out of other people enjoying our garden.
Yeah.
So that's what we enjoy. Yeah.
The most pleasurable one was a friend who said, it's like a poem. And a lot of people get really surprised at what's here. They're not expecting it, and so that's really nice to see. They just can't believe that this is here in Kiama. So our perfect afternoon would be me turning compost with the creek nearby and the birds singing, and Warwick is in his outdoor workshop making something for me. What I really like to share about my gardening is just go with the flow. We didn't have an end plan, we just did it as we went along, and we were happy to put up with it being not finished and not looking great, and just thrilled when something looked better and we improved. So we're pretty both open to whatever happens, and even now I try not to get overwhelmed by thinking it's a forest garden. It is what it is. There's going to be bits that are out of control at times, and I'll get on top of them eventually.
Really sort of nourishing for the spirit to be out in what is just a beautiful space, and being able to just relax and be part of it without having to kind of have your mind racing, and you're just sitting there enjoying being in it.